to the show. VH bomb in the lab, cook it, fiddle on screen. Zesty vibes loud, turn cringe to a meme. All your filters off, it's a wild reveal. One edit from me and the fiction gets real. Zesty Phil.
So folks, just to address the elephant in the room, if you're sitting in YouTube chat right now, you may or may not have realized a distinct change that just happened. For me, this just happened this morning. All of you who are sitting in YouTube chat, your names have completely changed. What do I mean by that? Well, the way it used to work in YouTube chat was your names were whatever your name is on your channel. So if your channel name was Chris, I would see Chris. If your channel name was, I don't know, Original Grant, I would see Original Grant. YouTube changed that for me this morning. Right now, what I see are your @addresses and the actual name of your YouTube channel that's not the name you chose to publicly display. So for example, here's the names I'm seeing right now in YouTube chat. @SupportRallyman, @Apollo360SD, @ChrisFarrell9888, @DarklordSauron1, @DoesThisLookNormal, @DarksideDylan2, @JHFFGGGYY, @Ellipsian2838, @JohnNeppard1947. Do you see my point? It used to just be Ellipsian. John Nepper. In some cases, the name of your channel, the address of your channel is not really the name that you like to go by, but I can't see it anymore. Right here, @BattleDuck-V4FM. I know who that is, that's BattleDuck 9000. But it doesn't say that anymore. So YouTube, once again, in all of their wisdom, made a sweeping change to the website that is absolutely terrible and never should have happened, but they're morons and they think we know better than you. And they change. Princess Luna, your name is now @PrincessLuna. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That's your name now. So understand that if in the next several days to weeks, if you guys are talking and I'm like, I'm trying to call your name and it's weird, I'm like, I can't pronounce it, or I'm confused as to who you are, please understand, it's not that I forgot who you are, it's that YouTube just changed the whole chat system on me. That's what I'm seeing right now, and there's no way to fix it. They just decided to do this overnight for me. Now, I've heard this is a change that was coming. I heard that it was a change that was in the works, and everyone was like, oh, we're against it, but YouTube doesn't care. They do whatever they want because they think they're smarter than you. Again, I want to reiterate that. I'm not even kidding. That's why everyone who's there, they actually think they're smarter than us. We're the people who use the site every day. I'm the person who used the site for 17 years for my job, but the people there think they know the site better than me. So oh no, trust us, this will be better. No, it's not. I want to see the names you guys use on YouTube and to be addressed by. I don't want to see a bunch of fucking random dashes, numbers, letters. In some cases, the names I'm seeing aren't even the names you went by. I think Isna was here. But your channel is like FFGGGZZ, so I don't even know your name is Isna anymore. You know? So FYI, guys, that's what's going on. And again, I apologize. Obviously, I don't want to lose that connection that I have with you guys on YouTube because I don't even recognize who you are. But YouTube changed this morning. And by the way, did they tell anyone this change was coming? No. Did they warn everyone? No. Did they do a dry run to test it? No. They just launched the change. Oh, well, you deal with it. Oh, it's not working? Oh, too bad. That's YouTube. 17 years on the site, that's exactly the treatment that I've gotten every single day I've been on the site. They just don't care about anything. Oh, well, we're smarter than you. Oh, okay. If you say so. Now that is correct. Late Note just made a point and said, well, I guess this is going to stop impersonators. Absolutely correct. For example, recently we had some impersonators that were coming by and very badly impersonating certain people. And because of that, I didn't even know if the person talking was the true person or not. Now, I should be able to recognize the real person, okay? Because I'm going to see the actual real channel name now. And it should be okay. But I'm gonna have to relearn everyone's name. That's the problem. Like, who was it? Extreme Machine has been coming by recently to help out with very hard to find stuff in Silk Song, because now we're in Silk Song Act 3 and some of the most cryptic stuff is going on. So Extreme Machine's been helping me with that. And now there's been trolls going by and using the same exact name to impersonate them and say stupid shit. But now once I see Extreme Machine in chat and I see their real channel, we should never have that problem again. I'll instantly recognize an imposter. Okay? So here's the thing. I get why YouTube is doing it. It's just the worst possible implementation they could do. They easily could have thought of something better or different or more original. They could have gotten feedback from the people who use the site, but instead they just said, fuck it. Flip the switch. We know better. So I'm sorry for that, okay? So let's say good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. We've got JHFFGGGYY. We've got Chris. We got Support Rally Man, Dark Lord Sauron, Gameplay. Who do we got? Legenius Wisdom Williams, XDGGGXD. You see what I'm saying? Buckwell, how are ya? He says start the game. No, quiet, Buckwell. Quiet over there. Stop getting so uppity over there on Kick. All right, I got stuff to discuss. All right, so thanks for the early. Thank you so much for the early support. Now, today's the premiere of Tormented Souls, obviously, right? It sure would be great if today we could get some good support and we can hit the goal. We are at 3 out of 10 goals. What is DSP Tries It coming up? I'll tell you what it is. It is... It is Domino's Pizza. For the first time in over a decade, I'm going to do Domino's Pizza on DSP Tries It. We're going to try the stuffed crust. We're going to try another different kind of crust. We're going to have an appetizer. We're going to go all out and do a full-fledged Domino's Pizza episode. I'm excited because I haven't had it in so long. Even if it sucks, it'll probably still be entertaining, to be honest. Even if it sucks and it's terrible food. I haven't been there in so long. Hopefully something's good. Hopefully something that we order will be good. Whether it's going to be the stuffed crust or whatever. But it's going to be a Halloween week pizza party next week right here on DSP Gaming. But we got to hit 10 goals. We're at 3. And we have a good day today. We hit the goal on this stream. We hit the goal tonight for Ninja Gaiden 4. We'll be at 5. We'll be halfway there. Then we could maybe do it around Tuesday-ish. That'd be perfect. Okay? So let's go. Let's get support for today's stream. Let's hit that goal. Let's get it going for DSP Tries It. All right? Darth Fig, which, by the way, his name is now displayed as @DarthFig6027. I'll just call him Darth Fig. Thank you for the early support before we start the game. All right, let's get to the topic at hand. Let's get to the topic everyone wants me to address. You guys have been asking me about this for 2 days. All right? And so all of a sudden, out of the blue, a couple days ago, Wings of Redemption randomly said in the middle of his stream, out of nowhere, oh, well, I should probably mention this during a stream where I'm got more attendance, but let me just start talking about it. I'm going to appear, but I can't speak. I'm going to appear on Phil's show on Monday. So anyone who wants to see me hang out with Phil on Monday, that's happening. Okay? And then again, apparently last night, Wings was playing Battlefield 6. And he mentioned it again. He said, yeah, on Monday I'm going to be on Phil's show. All right? But the weird thing is that he's not giving, many details or anything about it. Right? He's just randomly, mentioning this as a one-off quick thing. And so a lot of people, I guess, are dismissing it and saying, it's obviously he's just talking out of his ass. Or, if Phil has said 1,000,000 times that if Phil is going to be involved in anything, whether he's going to appear on a show or someone's going to appear on his show or there's going to be some kind of an event, DSP will bring it up. And DSP has said multiple times in the past, don't believe anything anyone else says because a lot of people just talk. You'll hear it from him first. So that's why I think a lot of people have been this isn't a big deal. We don't really need to bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, here's the deal. Here's what's actually going on. Let me explain to everyone to get it out in there publicly in the air. You know me. I don't talk about anything unless it's ready to go It's locked in and guaranteed and exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you guys, if I had told you about all stuff that I've worked on in the last year and a half, you'd probably be very disappointed. There was a lot of people I was talking with who I thought would be on the show, who I thought I could do some content with, and none of it worked out, and I've told you why. Several people who actually were very interested in working with me then found out about Kiwi Farms. Okay, I'm just being honest here. Kiwi Farms, you know, the website full of degenerates and mentally ill people who literally will dox the living shit out of anyone who has involvement with me or other people who they have termed lol cows for literally no reason. Like, it serves no purpose, it doesn't hurt me, but they will do this. So, multiple people who I've tried to work with over the last year to year and a half has said, we'd like to work with you, the content sounds like a great idea, but we just can't take the chance that ourselves, our viewers, our family members, our moderators are all going to get doxxed on Kiwi Farms. So therefore, we can't work with you. That's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration. That happened 3 different times in the last year from people who I want to collab with. Okay? And I never said the word Kiwi Farms, they did. That's how infamous it's become, you know? So when you say, oh, website like that, oh, it's fine, it's not harmful. No, it absolutely is 100%. Absolutely is a horrible place, and it shouldn't exist, okay? Now, in regards to what's going on with Wings, okay? The reason that you have not heard me bring this up whatsoever is because it's not a lock. Nothing has been solidified, nothing has been set in stone, nothing has been scheduled, okay? Here's what's been going on. As you know, and I've talked about this publicly for a while now, for a long time, I tried to get Wings of Redemption to do something with me, whether it was just appear on a show, for an interview, for a podcast, help the team up and do some gaming together, whatever it may be. And every time that I made the attempt, here's what would happen, okay? Either I would be completely and utterly ghosted, where I would get no response whatsoever, or I would initially get a response, and he would seem interested, only for him to later on then ghost me. And the weirdest part about it was, he would talk about it publicly in his own content. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do stuff with Phil. Like years ago, he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Battlefield with Phil, and I'm gonna do this and that. And it wasn't Battlefield, I think it was Call of Duty or whatever. But the weirdest part was, he never spoke to me about this stuff. He would just talk about it on his own streams, right? Then I would try to reach out to him and he would ghost me. Now, a year ago, okay, I had reached out to both Wings of Redemption and Boogie to be potential guests for the Level 1 podcast when I was trying to get guests for the show. This was last fall, okay? Both initially seemed interested. Both responded and seemed interested. But then all of a sudden, Wings stopped responding, and I'm not even kidding you, like Keemstar was like, oh, well, you gotta have Boogie on first. What do you mean I gotta have Boogie on first? Like, I should have wherever I want my show on first. But it seemed like, I don't know if it was a situation where Boogie just really wanted to be on my show. And so he was like, going with his boss, Keem, and be like, listen, I really want to go on Phil's show first. Can you make that happen? I'm not sure what it was, okay? But anyway, I was basically outright overtly told, the only way you'll ever have Wings of Redemption on your show is if you have Boogie on first. The thing was, when I asked you guys a year ago, are you interested in having Boogie on the show? You guys said, no, we're not. If you remember, that was the breakout scandal where it was revealed that he had been lying about having cancer for a long time to try to strum up sympathy from his viewers and try to raise funds. And people were just disgusted with the guy. They wanted nothing whatsoever to do with him. They were like, no, we just don't want this guy on your show. We don't think it's going to add anything. We don't think the conversation will be interesting. So I listened to feedback. I said, all right, if you guys don't want it, then I won't do it. So basically I said, forget it. I don't want Boogie on the show. If you remember, we were even talking about doing it. And he was not even capable of, like, sending me a Discord information so I could add into the Discord and then trying to schedule when he was going to come on. It was like, seriously, it was like the biggest hardship and endeavor. And the funny thing is, let's see. I was easily able to appear on Kino Casino multiple times. They appeared on my content multiple times, fine. We had no problem getting June the King to show up, Sutter and Craig to show up. I'm not a hard guy to work with. You just have to have like common sense and some basic intelligence and some work ethic. And sadly, I hate to say it, but I think some people just don't. And so after like going through hoops to try to talk to Boogie to get him on the show, I had enough. I said, I just don't care anymore. I just lost complete interest. I don't give a shit. My audience doesn't want it. I'm tired of working with this guy because he fucking so disorganized. Enough. So I just completely got rid of the whole idea. And that was that. Now, over the last year, I have made attempts from time to time to reach out to Wings of Redemption again and say, hey, just so you know, if you're ever interested, the door is still open, blah, blah, blah. All right? But finally, I just got fed up because it was a couple months ago, 2-3 months ago, I would say. And I had made like a final attempt. And I'm like, dude, you've been like ignoring me for like a year. And the funny part is when he talks about me in his content, it's always usually positive. Yeah, he'll make a little joke here or there, right? But for the most part, it's positive stuff. People say, would you work with Phil? Yeah, I would. Then why doesn't he ever respond? Right? Ever. He just ghosts me, but he talks publicly, but then he ghosts, right? So finally, recently, I was watching some of the detractor content about him. I'm not going to lie, because I'm curious, what is it that these detractors have about this guy that they hate so much, right? And admittedly, he has some mannerisms that are kind of odd and weird. Things that he says and does and the ways that he behaves, okay? There's ongoing, just like with me, there's ongoing themes of reasoning that his trolls say about him that they all latch on to. It's kind of samey stuff. What I mean by that is, if you take a look at Detractors content for anyone on the internet, whether it's me, whether it's LTG, whether it's Wings, whether it's Boogie, whether it's, everyone has these detractors, they'll kind of just latch on to these memes, right? These dumb memes. And to be honest, if you just watch the videos and you see them for what they really are, videos that are going to expose some, weaknesses of the person, but if you realize that it's not like the end of the world, and you just have a laugh at the videos, then it's great, it's fine. The problem is there's people who just obsess over this shit. They do it and they go crazy. And next thing you know, they're wishing harm and horrible things on people on the internet, which is fucked up beyond belief that never should get to that level, but it does. And that's what's sad, is that people can't tell the difference. Like, I truly feel like maybe these people maybe don't like Wings, all right? But they don't want him to be murdered. They don't want him to completely go bankrupt and end up in the streets. They just wish that he would improve. And that's the thing, that they make the case he never improves, okay? So anyway, after having watched some of this guy's content, I saw him repeatedly say stuff like, I hate playing games on the internet. I really wish I didn't have to do it, but this is how I make my living. He quit Lolcow Live, then he went back, first he got fired from Lolcow Live, then he went back, then he quit, then he's in limbo, then he's gone again, and I just keep seeing him say stuff in his content, like he wishes that he could do a show where he could talk with someone about stuff, but it's not a show that he had to set up, but instead he could just be there as a guest, and I'm thinking, this is literally what we could have done years ago. What I wanted to do with the guy. Like I said, let's have a show. I have a show. I literally have the show. All he has to do is show up for it. But he never does. He just ghosts me, right? So I made like one final effort a couple weeks ago. All right, I unblocked him, first of all, because remember, I've been pissed that he had been, ghosting me for so long. And then remember, he had responded to me like a month and a half ago and said, oh, I'll be on your show now. And by the way, I'm sorry that I never responded to you, but it was all because Keemstar told him to. Keemstar was looking for more guests and more content for Lolcow Live, which has been drying up recently. So he just did what he was told. And that pisses me off. It really does. When you'll only talk to me when you get told by your boss to do it. You won't to do it as like a real person. That's so disingenuous, right? So finally I unblocked him and I sent a message and I said, I really feel like you're stock and that, if we just work together, it could be something interesting and original and fun. I don't know why you've ghosted me and disrespected me for all these years. So he finally responded. He basically said to me that he's been going through depression. He's still going through depression. And that's the reason why he treats me like that. Now, I can tell you guys something. I've gone through depression. I know what it's like. When you're depressed, You feel like you don't deserve anything. You feel like you're not good enough for anything. You feel like you're the dirt on the bottom of everyone else's shoe. And if anything positive comes up for you, a lot of the times, completely inexplicably, you will ruin that opportunity. You will treat the person being nice to you like dirt because you feel like you don't deserve to be treated nicely. Okay, I've done it. I know for a fact in my past I have done that because I was depressed. There was entire friendships I literally broke off and ended for no reason. Okay, so coming from that position myself, when he said that, I kind of understood what he was saying. At the same time, this isn't like, oh, he did it once, he did it twice. It's weird how it's wishy-washy, okay? So basically he said that to me and I went back to him and we had a little bit of a conversation back and forth. And after that conversation, we basically ended it at, well, why don't we just hang out? Why don't we just have a stream where we just chill, where we just have a conversation? It doesn't have to be long. It could be 45 minutes. It could be 2 hours. Depends on how long we want it to go. But why don't we just chill and see what happens? People have been asking for DSP and Wings to do something for years and years and years and years. People just want to see us have a conversation because we never have. Do you know that, right? Literally, the two of us have never once spoken to each other. There's been a few texts back and forth and emails back and forth, and that's it. There's been no actual back and forth conversation between us ever in history. He's talked about me a ton, but we've never had this conversation, okay? So basically, I proposed this to him. He seems to like the idea, all right? So I said, well, yeah, we talked about scheduling or whatever. Initially, I actually wanted to have him on this week. He said, no, I want to go on next week. I said, well, I'm not going to push him. I'm not going to try to rush him and scare him away. Fine, if he wants to do it next week, we can do it next week. I'm okay with that. So, we talked about days, and it looks like maybe Monday of next week would be the best day for him. Okay? I told him with the times I stream. All right? I basically told him what I would like to do is to have him on during the time frame when I would do the Level 1 podcast. So basically, it would just be a special edition of the show where we'll have him on as a guest. Okay? And there is no specific topic. It is not, oh, we're going to have you on and we got to talk about this and drama. And it's nothing like that at all. It's just supposed to be a hangout session. Now, we might very well get into dramatic topics. I don't know. Okay? I know immediately every time I bring this guy's name up, I get people say, what about when he pushed his wife down and shit like that? And I'm like, I don't even really know about that. I've seen it. Everyone's seen the clip, right? But I have never seen it in context. I don't watch lolcow content. I'm never going to. So I don't actually know what really happened there. He absolutely, positively says he did not intentionally knock his wife down. It was an accident and she was fine and she was upset with him after the fact. It was just a mistake, you know? I don't know. But a lot of people are saying don't have him on the show because he knocked his wife down. You know, I'm sure a lot of people can say, don't have Darkside Phil on your show because he charged $1,000 to show his cat on stream when he plays WWE Champions. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's hard because I've come from that position too where people say the dumbest shit. And I know this stuff is just so stupid. But people actually like listen to it and believe it and then hate me for it, you know? So anyway, I would love to just have him on the show, have a conversation with him. Again, whether it's a half an hour, whether it's 2 hours, I don't know how it's going to go. It could be the most boring conversation in human history. It could be a very interesting conversation. Depending on the topics we talk about, what we have to say, I don't know, right? I just want to, like I said, I've been open to giving stuff chances. I've been trying, but people won't work with me, not because of me, but because of the troll element, because of getting harassed online, getting doxxed online. They don't want to be a part of anything with me, and that's not my fault. There's nothing I can do about that. In this case, Wings has literally been trolled just as much as me, so I don't think that he's really afraid of that, okay? Now, you might say, well, this is true, Phil. Why are you only bringing it up now? Why didn't you tell us all along? Why didn't you even say anything yet? Why is Wings talking about this in his content, but you're not talking about it in yours. All right? It's pretty simple. I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. I don't want to tell you that I'm going to have a guest on my show until it is a lock. Okay? Because imagine, like I said, there were 3 or 4 different people who either were slated to be on my show or who I was going to do collaborative work with last year. Okay? And then they all canceled because they were all afraid of being harassed online by crazy people on kiwi farms. And this is not me trying to scapegoat. This is exactly what happened. 3 different people said, I can't do it because I found out about the shit that happens on kiwi farms and I can't be involved in it. So, in this case, I don't want to tell you guys he's coming on the show until we have 100% secured every single thing needed to have him on the show and it's locked in. So what's the status right now? Here's the status. About 3 days ago, maybe 2.5, okay? I last talked to him, and where we were at was, send me your Discord info so I can send you a Discord invite. That way we'll be on each other's friends list. Then let's lock in the exact time that you're going to appear, and then I'll talk about the show. Okay? He sends me his Discord info. I send him the invite. That was over 2 days ago. He hasn't added me to Discord. He hasn't responded. I went back to him again and said, hey, did you get my Discord invite? Hasn't responded. Okay? Don't know what time he's going to be on the show. Like, do you see my point? Does it sound familiar? It sounds like exactly what happened with Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're interested. They really want to do it. But then when I try to get the details locked in, where are they? It's been over 2 days. He's not talking. And before you say, oh, he's been sleeping for 2 days, like Swaggy just said, no, he's streaming. So is he, again, purposefully dodging me? Now he's having second thoughts? That doesn't make sense because he's literally saying in these streams that he's going to be on the show on Monday. Now, all I can do is guess. Here's my guess. Wings and Boogie are the kind of people who literally wait till the last minute for everything. They literally just go to the absolute last minute procrastination. Okay? In Wing's mind, he doesn't have to actually add me on Discord or tell me what time he's going to be on the show until 5 minutes before. Maybe I'm wrong, okay? But it seems like to me that's how these people are. That's not how I am, okay? I have a very analytical planning mindset. I like to have my schedule laid out throughout the entirety of a week. Okay, I do. I like to have my schedule completely laid out so I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I literally have the schedule plastered all over my channel, my X account. You guys know where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing at almost all times for about a week. Okay? Now those things change from time to time. But hey, at least you know, and that people have praised me over the years, saying, listen, you can hate on Phil and say his content sucks, but no one's going to say that guy doesn't work a lot and work hard. He's got a set schedule. He's there for that schedule. He's got the content he promises. He doesn't overpromise and underdeliver. I'm not one of these people that, I just randomly turn my stream on. Everyone rushed to the stream. No, you know when my stream is on. That's why every time I turn on my stream, I have consistent viewership. That's something that I think a lot of people need to learn. If you actually want to get consistent viewership and consistent support, then you have to be consistent. Because it comes hand in hand. Your consistency, you'll get consistent results if you're consistent. Okay? So, in regards to the situation, I don't have Wings on my Discord yet. I don't have a guaranteed time he's showing up. Therefore, I haven't announced his appearance. That's how I am. But now he's talking about it so much, I had to address it on my show. Now, by the way, I have absolutely no hard feelings and no ill will towards him because of this. I wish that he had the same kind of mind that I do, the analytical, planning out style mind. Like I said, I literally have an outline of shit. Like when I have a day off, I'm not shitting you. When I have a day off, okay, I plan the shit I'm doing during the day. What do we got to do today? Oh, we got to go to Costco. We got to go to the grocery store. We got to go to the pet store. We got to go over here and do this. We wanted to do this. What about dinner? Oh, what food is in the area that we're going to be in that day for dinner? So let's now weigh and balance the different places that we could eat. oh man, we just had Mexican food a couple weeks ago, so we can't do that. So instead, maybe we could do this, or that. This is how my mind works. And for some people, that might sound crazy if I drive you nuts. Like, why does your mind work like that? Don't you ever do anything sporadic? Oh, I do. There's certainly times where I'm just driving around. Oh, there's something interesting. Let's just check that out. But for the most part, that's how my mind has always worked. It's planning everything out. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And that's how I like to run my business. So that's why you don't hear me casually saying, oh yeah, Wings is going to be on. Because he hasn't been locked yet. He's not a locked appearance. He apparently thinks he is. Even though he's not on my Discord and we don't even have a time frame yet that he's showing up on Monday. But, you know. So anyway, that's what's going on. So here's the thing. I would absolutely positively love to have him on the show on Monday. Just to hang out. Just a hangout session. Whatever topic comes up, comes up. Okay? But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen. Because we haven't locked it in yet. So he can talk about it as much as he wants on his own streams. But until he responds to me, the person who runs this show, nothing is set yet. Okay? He needs to add me on Discord and he needs to say, okay, I'm going to show up at this time because here's what I would like to do. Start the show like I usually do around 11:30. Do about a half an hour build-up. Get you guys all hyped up for his appearance to like noonish. Then around noon, get him on the show. Have him hang out for about an hour, hour and a half. And then after that, do our usual decompression, where we hang out for like an hour. We talk about what just happened. I answer questions. I do shout-outs, because here's the thing. If he's on the show, all right, it's going to be him and me hanging out. It's not going to be him and me and giant pop-ups coming on the screen of trolls trying to fuck with this guy or anything. No. He's giving me his attention. He's giving me his time. That's a valuable asset. Therefore, I give him my respect. So there will not be pop-ups. There will not be bullshit going on. I won't be doing shout-outs. It's just going to be him and me hanging out. After that ends, then we have the decompression where we can talk. I can do shout-outs. You know what I'm saying? Just like the previous interviews that I've done. It'll be exactly the same, conducted the same. All right? Now, also, crazy stuff that people are saying. Oh, this will lead to content, and this will lead to this and that, and this will lead, I don't know where it's going to lead to anything. All right? Just to be honest with you. Like, I just want to hang out with the guy and just see how it goes, because for years and years and years, people have said, you guys should hang out, have a conversation or whatever, and we've never done it, right? So this may be a first step towards something greater. This may be a one and done. No one knows, right? Every time that I did an interview last year, I had no clue how it was going to go, and they all went different directions, right? I think, no exaggeration, like every single interview I did went differently than probably how originally I thought it was going to go. I thought the Keemstar interview would be completely contentious. It was completely the opposite. I thought with Stuttering Craig, by the end of the interview, we were going to bury the hatchet, and literally, it went completely the opposite way. You know? So, who knows? You know? What would I like this to be? I would like to just hang out with Wings for around an hour, have a good time, talk about various topics, get his opinions on stuff, or give my opinion on stuff. Maybe we'll find some common ground. Maybe we'll completely disagree on certain topics as well. Maybe we'll give each other advice. Maybe we'll laugh at each other. Who knows, right? I would hope that by the end we don't hate each other's guts, but maybe that'll happen too. I don't know. You never know. I guess seriously, I don't know. But who cares? It's something to do, right? It's something different to do, right? So, let's see how stuff goes, shall we? Alright, so, as soon as I hear from Wings on when he's gonna appear, if he's okay with what I just laid out, which was, you know, he comes on around noonish my time. I don't know what time that is his time, and that, you know, we're good. That's what we'll do on Monday. But, I don't know. We'll find out. Alright, we'll see if he actually adds me on Discord, because I sent him the invite, right? So he has to add me, and then we got to get this all worked out, but he hasn't confirmed anything yet. Okay? There you go. Okay, let's see what people have to say. Here's what we'll do. All right. Let's see what people have to say about this topic and others. Tag me in the chat. We'll do a little bit of Q&A to end the show. And please, let's get some support for the show before we start with Tormented Souls 2. So Jade, how you doing? I see you, Jade. Now we got a problem. Jade, if you're not aware, YouTube decided to change everything. YouTube has changed the way that people are named on YouTube. Jade, I no longer see your name. I see your channel name, which is completely different than your name, which is why I didn't initially recognize you, but now I realize that was you because I recognize your avatar. So what's going on, Jade? This is going to happen with a ton of people. Seriously, a ton of people are going to come by and I'm not going to recognize you guys because it's not showing your name anymore. It's showing the and the address that you're actually on YouTube, which sucks. Darkside Elin says, everyone thought you were going to go full-on Ralph male because you did one show with Ethan Ralph. You did one good show and moved on, and your haters act like the sky was falling. Well, yeah, these people are just dumb. You know, they really are. Like, when I had Ethan Ralph on Smart Guys, right? It worked. Right? It worked. 100%. Why did it work? It worked because, basically, he was there for wrestling commentary. And he had a lot to add, I feel like, in my opinion. Like when he was, saying stuff about the show or whatever. It was actually intelligent commentary. All right. It was good stuff. Now, maybe if I continued to work with the guy, it would have become more dramatic and went south. But for the one show that he appeared on, I thought that it went really, really well. And I've had, cordial conversation with Ethan Ralph behind the scenes just to say, hey, I wish you well. I hope things are going well for you. And, the reason that, I don't really contact you is because there's nothing to talk about. Like, we were there for wrestling, and since the wrestling thing's fallen through and I'm not doing it anymore, there's really nothing else to do, Like, we don't really have common ground. The shit that he's doing has nothing to do with the stuff that I do, right? So, where are we going to have a crossover now? Like, on nothing. I don't do politics. I don't do drama. That's what he does, right? So, yeah, I feel like this could be a great thing. Especially because people, again, it's been like 5+ years, people have said, what about Wings? You want to have an interview with Wings. You're going to have gaming with Wings. I just want to have a conversation with the guy and see what happens, all right? Yes, I know, Jade. I know. Because I don't like how YouTube has this new name system. I hate it. I don't like it either, Jade. Like, no lie, I didn't know that was you until I looked at your avatar and I recognized your avatar and I was like, oh, that's him. It's shit. This sucks. I like the old naming system and they get away with it. So now, you have to change the actual address of your channel for that to show up in the chat, here's why they did it, because we figured it out. Because people are impersonating others. People are coming in with exactly the same name. So now you don't know the difference between two people. It looks like they're exactly the same person when they're not. That's why they probably did this, but they easily could have done it in a different way. It's really dumb that they did it this way, in my opinion. Oh, but we improved things. No, stupid. No, you did the absolute least possible amount of intelligent thought and work, and you changed the site without asking anyone if this is going to work well for you or not. They're just so dumb. But again, I'm not kidding you when I say this. People who work at YouTube think they're smart. They actually think that they're like big brain fucking geniuses. They actually think that they know better than everyone who uses the site, and that they should make these big sweeping changes without asking anyone, because that's going to improve the overall user experience. They don't ask a single fucking person, they just launch the changes. They're like, yeah, here's 2 more people. Pausen, I recognize. I don't know who Hagai S is. He says, oh wow, there's that thing. That's yeah, I don't even know who you are, Hagai, because that's what your channel address is, but I don't know what your real name is. This has just happened with 12 other people, too.